Hello everyone, my name is Rosan Abedoro, Rai for short, and I just want to welcome everyone who is here. Please, if you're joining me, just say hello so I know you're here, and then we can proceed. Good to have everyone here. Yes. You can please, as you're coming in, if you check down, you'll see where you can share. So please share so people will know we're live. Thank you for joining me. It's good to have you here. All right, yes, thank you for joining. Let's just give 1 minute. How was your day, everyone? So if your day was good, you could just let me know how your day was. Please, as regards my social media platforms and the rest, it will be in the pinned comment, so you could look at it and see it there. So let's just give some time. Florence and Cool, thank you for joining me, and of course, Teacher Florence, thank you for looking after Miroslav for me. All right, I'll just give maybe about 1 more minute, and I would proceed. We are looking at what's the big deal about your partner's history? Your day was fine, Teacher Valentine. All right, that's good. And so the rest of you, if you're viewing outside or even in Ukraine but outside my city, Kharkov, I like to know. Nana, thank you for joining me. Grace, I can see you. Thank you. Let's just give 1 more minute and have some people. So please share so people will know we're on and we can proceed. Natalia, thanks for joining. I can see you. Hope your day was good. What's the big deal about your partner's history? Must you tell them everything? Would you edit some? How much information is too much? Share and let people join us, and we would proceed. We would proceed. All right. Amos, thank you all the way from Nigeria. Please let me know where you're viewing from. That would help me out. And today I want it to be interactive, so please, when we continue or as we go on, let me know your thoughts, and that will be good. All right, I'm starting. I think it's 1 minute already from when I said I would start. Others will join us or probably watch the replay. All right. In a relationship, when you're taking it, or especially when you're cutting or when you're taking it to the next level, people usually have this feeling of I must say everything, I need to be honest. Of course, honesty is key to building a solid foundation. Grace V from Blue Hera, that's nice, thank you. So they tend, especially when people are so much in love, they tend to say so many things. I don't have an issue with people saying what they need to say. You should say everything that you need to say. Oh, Pastor Daniel, thank you for joining me from Nigeria. You need to say everything to let your partner know. But one thing you need to take into consideration is, Michael, thank you for joining me. You need to take into consideration is the person's maturity. How mature is this person you want to divulge information to? How mature is this person? And individuality matters. Some people, when you tell them everything or you get to tell them what you've done in the past and all, they tend to be judgmental. They tend to judge you throughout. They tend to hold it. If something happens in the course of the relationship or the marriage, you bring back, and that's how you did that with your ex and all. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Good evening, Pidan. I'm not saying you shouldn't tell your partner everything, but not when the relationship you're not sure of it. You don't know where it's going. There are certain things you shouldn't say yet. You should know the person, watch the person, look at the person. You should try the person. I'd say a litmus test. Try the person with one of it that is not so serious in quotes. You test the person with that one, see the person's reaction. Peter, thank you, from Nigeria. See the person's reaction, and then you can now divulge. But irrespective of the person's maturity, irrespective of the person's individuality, especially when it's going to that relationship you believe is going to get to marriage, there are certain things you must tell your partner. Example, your sexual status. Still a virgin, not a virgin? Who did you sleep with? How many? The issue is why you have to say that is things can come up when you're married. It can spring up. It can come up. So you have to say the truth and say what it is. I personally would not say you should start going into details. Probably, for example, if you were the one who married and you were in a virgin and co, start saying how everything happened or how the sex was and everything. I don't think that is necessary information. But the person needs to know that you dated A, B, C, D, E. If it's up to the letter Z, you let the person know. Another thing you must let the person know, it's of course your health status. Some people have HIV positive. It's not a crime. There are some drugs that you can use, but the person needs to know. The person can't just go into a relationship like that blindly. That's not being honest. That's misleading the person. If it comes up later on, it's a problem. Even your genotype. I understand that people will say you could pray your genotype. Yes, I believe in that. I believe in prayer strongly. But it's better you can go and check. God has given us, sense of brain, like my beloved husband used to say. So we can let him rest. Yes. So if you have your status, you need to let them know that's your genotype. Let your both partners know what it is. If you AS or stuff, you let your partner know, or SS or you let your partner know. If your partner genuinely loves you, there are ways you can go around it, and the relationship can continue. Another thing you cannot hide, irrespective of the behavior of your partner, whether he is the type that will judge you or will not judge you, you cannot hide a child from your partner. A lot of people do that. They hide the fact that they have children, and it's very bad. I don't want to call any sex that is hiding that he has a child, but whatever sex, because even if you say one sex, the percentage is more. I still know women who have children and they pretend as if that's not their child because they believe that the man will not marry them if they have a child. But that would come out. That would in the long run. Joyce, thank you for joining me. It will come up in the long run in the marriage, even if it's towards the end of your marriage, even if it's after 25 years of celebration. The person, even if the person maybe now says it's okay, but deep down the person will believe that you tricked the person into marrying you, into settling down with you, because in the person's mind, if I knew this information earlier on, would I still want to be with this person? So if you have a child, that is a must. You must say it, that you have a child and this is what led to it. Then there's something else I think is necessary. Though some people think it's not, but I believe it's fundamentally necessary. You need to know how, if the person is sexually active, you need to know what happened. Was the person raped or it just happened? Because you see, if it had to do with rape, especially for the woman, the psychology, it will affect the sexual relationship in the marriage. And of course, sex is important in the marriage. No argument about that. So you need to know if it was something that, okay, probably she made a mistake, or even if she didn't think, depending on her moral stand, that she made a mistake, she felt it was okay. Timmy, thank you for joining me. You need to let your partner know. If you're a guy and one auntie or one, somebody led to your disvirgin or something, you need to tell your partner that this is what happened, because it also affects the way he would start seeing a woman, either like a sex object or something. It affects psychologically how the person relates with you in the house. So you have to know. There's no specific answer. Yes, you must tell your partner everything. No, you don't have to tell your partner everything. It depends on the individual. If the individual is mature enough, you've seen that he's the type, please, you can of course use your your share button and comment. Let me know your thoughts as we go on. You must let your partner know about certain things, but some details are just too much. Maybe you were the type who, before you met your partner, you were the crazy type, for example. You did so many stuffs and all that. Some detail and gory information may be too much for your partner to handle. So you have to know who this person is, how he takes things, how he or she reacts to situations before you begin to spill. And then, of course, another thing that will come, like another litmus, like the litmus test I say, is would it come back to haunt me? This is something you must sit down to reason. If this thing will spring up, or you have a friend that knows you have done something, maybe an abortion or something, and you know it will spring up, or it affected your womb or something, I think it's wickedness for you not to tell your partner that this is what you have done, so that even if a medical condition arises from it may not, it's not all the time it does, but even if it arises from it, the partner understands that you yourself can even tell, but I told you that this was what happened. So you now begin to know how to look for a situation so that you don't get blamed, you know. And another thing is, is the person, if you were in a cult, if you were a gang member somewhere, or you belong to something, you need to tell them, because most of the time, if you get married, there are some rules and regulations that govern such associations, and it has to affect the spouse of the person. Excuse me. So you must say it. You must say that. That's not negotiable. It's not negotiable. You must be able to tell your partner that, oh, I belong to a gang somewhere, I did something somewhere, you know. And then someone sent me a message before this broadcast and asked that, what if you had killed someone? Well, if you have killed someone, I used to say that if I ever have been, I know I will not kill anyone, but if I don't know how it will happen, but let's say it happened, because you can't tell. Someone say never. I think my spouse should be the first person to know that, because if you or the person I want to go should know that, because this is something that if he catches up with me later, maybe there are kids involved and stuff later down the road, I will have to go to jail, and so he has to. It's better that you say these things and then it doesn't spring up in the marriage or down the road and it leads to surprises, and the person will be, you know, very surprised, or will say, so didn't you trust me enough? So what was this? Why did you hide this? Why did you hide that? So you have to say everything that you have done, especially these things I mentioned. There are some things that probably are not necessary. Then again, everybody is different. He or she may ask you specific things. If you're not sure of the person's reaction, what the person would say when the person is asking you that question, I advise you really don't lie, because lying is a problem, because you have to go down the road to start, you know, trying to say, correct that lie. Somebody said when you tell one lie, you have to tell so many other lies to back it up. So if you can't answer, or you're not comfortable, or you are afraid that it will cost you a relationship, you should tell the person you would answer, but not now. You would answer, but not now. Peter, I see your question. I would come to it when I round up this. You would answer the person, but not now. Or tell the person, give me time. It's very personal. Give me time. I would answer you and cool. You don't shove the person off, or don't lie to the person. I believe that if a relationship built on lies, when your foundation is built on lies, is a problem. But again, everybody in a relationship must understand that a relationship is not a deposition. It's not where you come and deposit all your trash that had happened to you before. So it's where you are talking to this person, you're in love with this person, you believe that this person you can spend the rest of your life with this person. So this person should be able to accept you for you. The person should be able to accept you for you. So if that person is able to accept you for you, then it doesn't matter what you tell the person should understand. But of course, upbringing differs, what the person has gone through and differs. Peter is asking that a partner who refuses to tell me his or her past history, what do I do? It depends on what you're asking that person. Peter, can you give me an example? Because you see, if you're asking that person, let's say for example, the person's sexual status at the time you're asking the person, and maybe the person was raped. You know, it may have a psychological effect on the person, and the person may be not willing to say it. So find that, is it that the person just doesn't want to tell you, or the person, it's still affecting the person, it's still a process the person is going through. You need to check to Lily, thank you for joining me. You need to check to find out why is that person not willing to tell you. Or is the person afraid that it will cost the person the relationship? But you see, if you're afraid it will cost you a relationship, what about your marriage? Because there are some people that when they find out some things about you in the marriage, it's not everybody that holds this value of, you know, once you're married, you know, the person is not going anywhere. So if that is the case, Mary, thank you for joining me. If that's the case, please share as we go on. If that's the case, what would you do then? So I don't think it's right for you to say you won't say anything at all, or keep your partner in the blind. So how does the person get to know you? It's by communicating, it's by talking. Yeah, so you need to find out, why is that person not telling you, Peter? So if I can know like a particular thing you want to know and the person is not asking, and then it's easier. So if you want more counseling, you can, if you're not comfortable stating it now, you can get to me personally after the broadcast. You can reach me and I'll get back. So please let me know your thoughts. There are others, but as usual, I don't like giving everything out. So I need you, because I want you to know. If it affects you personally, you let me know. And there's something else. If you have given out an information, you've told your partner something about what happened to you in the past that is very personal to you, and your partner is making you feel guilty, he's always bringing it up, he's judging you and all, what then do you do? I would suggest that you let your partner know that this is not me. That was what I did then, but now I'm a different person. You have to make the person understand this is not me. So and you cannot keep on bringing up what has happened in the past. If I stole in the past, does not mean I'm a thief now. Yes, certain things may have led to me stealing in the past, but I no longer steal. But if your partner always does that, after telling him or her, the person is always bringing it up, I advise you think twice about going further with that relationship, because the person in the marriage, it won't be different. The person will still bring up that, yes, this is how you are. For example, if you were the type that was promiscuous before, and the person believes that or is judging you for that, even if you get married, you won't be able to hang out with the opposite sex. The person will believe that you are about to do the same thing you usually do when you were in your past. The person, it brings insecurity in the relationship. The person begins to be insecure. Can I leave her with my friend? Can I leave him with my friend? Is he not, if he was a player before, if she was like this before, isn't this what's going to happen? So please let's know what you think, and if you have questions, this is the time you should let me know. And you must understand that certain choices, I tell people that choices have consequences. If you didn't listen to that broadcast, it was a live broadcast, but it wasn't a video one, an audio broadcast, go and listen to it. Choices have consequences. So you must, yes, Lily, you make the person understand you're done with your past, you're not who you used to be. So your choices have consequences. So everything you do now, they may come to catch up with you later. So if you're spending the rest of your life with someone, it's better you let the person know you did A, B, C, D. But like I said, some gory details may not be necessary. Now, it depends on the individual. Some individual want to know all the details. Like I said, if a person can handle it, there's no what's there. After all, you'll be sharing a bed, sharing a house, sharing a life together. Why can't you share those deep thoughts, those secrets with the person? Yes, if the person keeps bringing up your relationship, think twice about it. Bringing up your past, think twice about the relationship. That's true. If he keeps on bringing it, there may be circumstances that may bring it. But if the person is being judgmental about it, if anything happens, ongoing after you have told the person, and the person say, "Hey, that's how you did that. I remember that's how you need to think twice. You need to think twice about it. You need to think twice about it." There are certain things that you may have done that may have consequences. Be ready to deal with them. And pray also that you have someone who, would be mature enough to understand that, that's why the person is in your life, to make you better. I always tell people, if you're with someone and it's not making you better, so what's the use? So if you're with someone and you're not getting better, always brings up the past things you have told the person. You need to think twice about going forward with that person. So this is the point to where I take questions. And please don't, even when the broadcast ends, don't please hang on, because I have a special announcement to make in another broadcast. Yes, so I like to take questions if you have them, or your contributions. Keep the conversation going. Let's discuss. So if you have a question on what you think should be told or shouldn't be told, let me know why, and we go on from there. Yes, and also, if you've broken people's hearts, you should tell them. I broke someone's heart. I did a very wrong thing. I know that I shouldn't have done this to that person, but this is what I have done to that person. I think you should state it, because some people, somebody said there's no like a woman's scorn, especially if it has to do with a woman, because she may want to come back and get at the family later. If you know you really caused that person pain, and no, let's say you left someone at the altar, you need to tell your current person that this is what happened. I won't leave you at the altar when I propose to you, but this is what happened in my past for so and so reason. Maybe I was childish, maybe you need to say these things. They help, you know, the relationship ongoing. They help the relationship ongoing. And if you are the type who is having you have a problem, you like, you know, some people just can't help it. They have multiple partners. If you're that type, let the person know your partner can help you. The reason why you're actually with your partner is because the person is supposed to see through your weaknesses and help you. And the only way you can say it is when you talk to this person. You should be able to tell the person. If all the person, actually, if I'm in a relationship with someone and all I know is your good side, I know you're pretending, you're hiding something. Everybody has something. Everybody has a past. Everybody has a history. Everybody has something. It may not be sex. It may not be that, okay, the person may even still be a virgin and have some things the person have done that are not really morally right. The person should be free enough to tell you. But like I said, there are some gory details, and of course, if the person is not really mature, or having insecurity problems, or the person would be judgmental. The person can't help it. There are some people that just can't help it. They must judge you. They must be judgmental. Then I think you keep it to yourself, to avoid it bringing, you know, or making you or causing you to have low self-esteem. So I'll be rounding up the broadcast now. If you're not having questions, I would round up the broadcast so that I can give you my announcement. So yes, Lily, let your partner know if you broke someone's heart. It's necessary, of course. Let them know that you really hurt somebody and you feel bad about it. That shows you're a repentant person, and you probably won't hurt this person, because for you to be bold enough to tell me that you hurt someone, I want to believe strongly that you the person won't hurt you, that the person is in a relationship with. And to avoid a vendetta, or to avoid the person coming back to you. So, in summary, some things are a must. You must tell your partner. Some things you tell your partner, but you don't go in gory details. And then it depends on the maturity of your partner and the individuality of your partner. So, can you edit? You can edit if you see that your partner is temperamental, judgmental. You can edit some details. So yes, please, the pinned, don't forget to look at the pinned comments. All my social media platforms are there. So please, you can reach me after the broadcast. Like I said, if you don't have any question, I'll be rounding off now. Don't go. I would come back live again to give a special broadcast if there are no questions. I know it's a personal topic, so of course you're welcome inbox where we can talk some more. So in the absence of any question, I'll call it a night. It was nice talking to you all, and thank you for joining me. Please don't forget to share to your groups, on your wall. Let people know that we're on. Yes, Pastor Daniel, thank you too for joining. Bye.